Well, a live look now at the skies over Tel Aviv, Israel, on the right side of your screen. On the left, video out of Israel following an Iranian missile attack. The two countries trading attacks for a fifth day. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying Israel strikes have significantly set back Iran's nuclear program. The urgency of the conflict prompting President Trump to leave the G7 summit early and return to D.C. He's having a Situation Room meeting today. Iran's foreign minister says the country remains committed to diplomacy. Trump telling reporters on Air Force One he's looking for something, quote, better than a ceasefire.
We're not looking for a ceasefire. Remember, Iran cannot have nuclear weapons. Very simple. Not to go too deep into it. They just can't have a nuclear weapon. Oh, they'll come down so hard if they do anything to our people. They'll come down so hard. Their gloves are off so beautifully.
We welcome now Mike Wagenheim, correspondent for the Jewish New Syndicate. It is wonderful to have you, sir. So Israel has now claimed air superiority. Recent reports indicate they've destroyed 1/3 of the launch capabilities of Iranians. Their top military commanders are dead. Do you think Iran is at a point now where they may have an appetite for signing a deal the U.S. would agree to avoid potentially a regime change?
The question is, are they willing to go down with the ship? Because it doesn't look like there's any other way out at this point for the Iranians. Again, their missile launch capacity is down. Their command infrastructure gone at this point. Khamenei reportedly holed up in a bunker. Not a whole lot of options right now for the Islamic Republic. So they say they're open to negotiation. Not sure negotiation really is a tactic at this point. And even President Trump saying when he was asked whether he would potentially send Vice President Vance and Special Envoy Steve Witkoff back to the table with Tehran, he said, I'm not in the mood right now to negotiate. So it's basically surrender or at least major concessions that were even unthinkable to the Iranians a week ago, or continue fighting it out and essentially accept the fate at this point. Those are the two options, it seems, for Tehran. Even their missile launches over the last 2 or 3 strikes are way down from where they were in the initial rounds. 20 missiles, 30 missiles, having little impact comparatively, although still 24 dead in Israel. So very few avenues open right now to Tehran other than the two I just mentioned, either waving the white flag completely or making inconceivable concessions at this point.
Right. Well, and to that point, would the U.S. or Israel be able to trust any potential deal with Iran if the current regime stays in place?
I think at this point it's more up to President Trump than it is to Prime Minister Netanyahu as to how far they're willing to go to trust at this point. Keep in mind, even the International Atomic Energy Agency said in their most recent report that the Iranians have been consistently not only violating the parameters of the IAEA and the Non-Proliferation Treaty, but have been hiding and covering up their violations for extended periods of time right now. It's up to Trump essentially as to how much he wants to avoid a direct conflict with Iran and how quickly he wants to get out of it and secure what he feels is a victory. I think it's essentially out of Prime Minister Netanyahu's hands right now and more in President Trump's hands as to how willing he is to trust the Iranians going forward. I think the measuring stick is there right now, but still, I think it's better for him to at least open up that road to diplomacy than it is to go into a direct conflict with Iran and potentially risk military bases and direct conflict throughout the region.
Yeah, he does appear to be leaving all options on the table right now. Will we go on the offensive? A major question. There has been a lot of talk recently as well about whether or not this regime may fall as a result of this. What do you think the odds of that are, considered its weakened state at this hour, Mike? And also, what would the implications be?
But, if you're the Iranians at this point, you're looking around the region. What's left of your axis at this point? Hassan Nasrallah is long gone in southern Lebanon. Hezbollah has been decapitated. They're not even firing at this point in time. They've been essentially neutered by the Lebanese government. There's no Bashar al-Assad left in Syria, and that new regime there is U.S.-backed and U.S.-dependent completely. Hamas hasn't fired off a rocket. The Houthis are still kicking, but they're limited in bandwidth. So at this point in time, there's nobody coming to save the regime there.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.